Hey everyone, happy Sunday. I hope you're all doing well. I thought I would come on here and show you my recently acquired collection of lavender slash lilac blushes. Some of these are a little more blue toned, some have a little bit more of a warm pink tone to them. You'll see as I show you some swatches. But yes, these are some of the purple lavender blush shades that seem to work very well actually on my fair skin tone. So if you guys keep watching, you can just see some swatches and I'll show you some of the blushes that have worked for me. Okay, so we'll start off with the first one, which I've had the longest, and this one is, here it is. This, I depotted it, but it's a NARS blush in the shade Sex Fantasy. And this is a very light, cool toned pink, but it does have a little bit of a lavender shade to it. And you'll see that a little bit on my arm swatch there. It looks very powdery in the swatch, but when you apply it to the skin, it melts beautifully just like any other NARS blush does. It's completely matte, no shimmer, and it definitely isn't, it's an easier one to wear than some of these other shades. It's more pink than it is purple. So you can see it right there. It looks terrible on my arm. It actually looks really dry. But when I wear it on my cheeks, it just gives me a really nice, light, natural flush. Can kind of barely see it there on my arm swatch, but just trust me, you have to try it in person. It's a really beautiful shade. And again, that's NARS Sex Fantasy. So that's number one. Number two is a recently acquired gem, and this is the MAC Glow Play Blush in the shade Totally Synced. And this one is, I'd say top 2 or 3, definitely. It's that cream to powder formula, which is really beautiful, kind of a marshmallowy feel. And that, I'll show you here. That one is this shade right here. You can see it has a bit more color payoff there. And it's that really nice middle ground between a cool pale baby pink with a touch of lavender or lilac, depending on what you want to call it. So that is MAC Glow Play Blush in Totally Synced. The next one that I have is another MAC blush, and this is just the single pan, and this is in the shade Full of Joy. And this is a frost. However, it does come off more like a satin finish on the skin. Really beautiful blush. I'm starting to fall back in love with these MAC powder blushes. So there is MAC Glow Play in Totally Synced, and there is MAC Full of Joy Frost. But again, it doesn't come off too frosty on the skin. It looks more like a satin finish. So I'll show you what that looks like. This one definitely has more of a blue tone to it than Totally Synced. So there's Totally Synced, and there is Full of Joy. If I move my arm a little bit, you can kind of see a slight natural sheen there, but it's definitely more of a satin finish. That's one of my favorites, and I actually like adding this on top of more pink tone blushes to add a little bit more of a blue tone to it. It kind of makes it that more lavender color, blends really well with other pink tones. It's beautiful by itself as well. So that's MAC Full of Joy. And the next one over here is Lorac. This was from a collection, I think it was the brunch collection. This is Panorama, and it's a satin finish. And I really I think Lorac is such an underrated brand. I think they're fantastic. Their formulas are beautiful, and yeah, I just think overall they're a wonderful brand. And this blush is no exception. So again, this is Panorama. And Panorama is definitely more pastel. It has more of a white base to it, and it looks terrible in the swatch, but trust me, on the skin it looks really beautiful and very brightening. Kind of like you're glowing almost. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a really beautiful blush. It's beautiful on its own, and it's also beautiful when it's mixed with other shades. So that's Panorama. Then the next one here I have in this 3-pan palette from Clinique is the Clinique Cheek Pop blush in the shade, what shade is this? Oh gosh. Pansy Pop. I think that's Pansy Pop. Yeah, that's Pansy Pop in the center there. Just for reference, that one is Ballerina Pop, that one is Pansy Pop, and that one is Heather Pop. So this is the one we're talking about here, the center shade, Pansy Pop. And this one is really beautiful. I do find that I have to work a lot into the pan and do quite a few applications in order to get it to show up. But once I do, it's this really beautiful pinky lavender shade. Definitely more of a lilac shade, I think. But it's just so beautiful. And I think you can see here, those Clinique Pop blushes are just such a beautiful finish. So natural, and they just look like your skin, and they're easy to blend out. Really like that one. So that is Pansy Pop by Clinique. And then the next one I got is the Lovely Cookie Blusher by Etude House. And this one is in the shade, what does that say? PP501 Lavender Chiffon Cake. If it'll focus, it'll be better. Hold on. There you go. Lavender Chiffon Cake. I ordered this on Amazon, but I think they have it on like Yes Style and other websites that sell K-Beauty, J-Beauty products. So here's the shade. I don't know if you could see it in this lighting, but there's quite a bit of shimmer running through this, like a silver, very fine glitter that runs through it, but definitely shows up on the skin, which I'm a little bummed out about because I do love this color a lot. I just don't want the shimmer to be there. But I've used this actually as an eyeshadow, and it's really beautiful as well. The formula is super silky and beautiful, as is the same with the other Lovely Cookie blushers. So that is the shade Lavender Chiffon Cake. And I'll show you the swatch here. That is that guy right there. That is Lavender Chiffon Cake. And it's quite similar actually to Pansy Pop right there, but it does have a little bit more of a blue tone to it, as you can see, whereas Pansy Pop has kind of more pink in it. This one here though is Lavender Chiffon Cake by Etude House. So that, in the viewfinder, it does look quite matte, but it be warned, there's definitely some shimmer running through that one. So if you're not a fan of shimmer in your blushes, then maybe stay away from that one. But if you're not, not afraid of that, then I definitely think it's a beautiful blush. All right, and now let's move on to some cream / liquid / serum blushes. The last two over here on the right are, number one here is the I probably won't pronounce it correctly, but it's the Apieu Juicy Pang Blusher, and it's spelled A-P-I, oh, I should have looked this up, A-P-I-E-U, I think. Here's the label. And this is in the shade PK. Oh, that's a shame. I don't think it even says it on the label. Oh, sorry. It's in the shade VL03. And I really like this blush formula. It's a very liquidy, almost water texture. And this is really a beautiful shade. This is like a lilac kind of shade right here. And that's a pretty heavy swatch, but that gives you an idea of what the color looks like. Has a little bit of a mauve tone in it there too. really pretty. And if you're looking to get into kind of lavender shade blushes, this is a good one because it's not as lavender purple as some of these ones over here, but it's a good kind of transition into the lavender blush world. Similarly, we have a serum blush. This is the new release from M Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Little Lilac. And as soon as I saw this, I knew I had to get it. This color is just so beautiful. It seems like the perfect mixture of both pink and lilac. And these serum blushes are just such a beautiful formula. I mean, look at that. Isn't that pretty? So that one has a little more blue in it. That is that guy right there. And you can see these serum blushes have a really beautiful natural sheen to them when you apply them to the skin. They're not oily and they do dry down, but they still retain kind of a skin-like satin finish. So that right there is Little Lilac. So I'll show you, if I can, all of them next to each other. So that one there is NARS Sex Fantasy. This one here is MAC Glow Play Blush in Totally Synced. Next we have MAC Powder Blush in Full of Joy. Next to that we have Lorac Panorama. Next up we have Clinique Cheek Pop in Pansy Pop. And then next to that I have Etude Lovely Cookie Blusher in the shade Lavender Chiffon Cake. The next and final two are the liquid / serum blushes. This one here is the A. House PK01. Is that what it was? Hold on. Sorry, guys. Sorry, completely wrong. VL03. That one's VL03. And then this one here is the M Cosmetics Serum Blush in the shade Little Lilac. So that's that. And again, this is on my skin tone. I have about, I'd say NC10, NC15 skin. Kind of fluctuates. And this is what it looks like on my skin. Really fun way to dip your toe into the lavender blush world if you're interested in doing so, especially for these winter months. I think they give you such like a winter kind of just in from the cold flush. Highly recommend it, giving it a try. Anyway, yeah, I hope that was helpful for all of you guys. And if you're curious or want me to swatch it next to any other blushes, let me know and I'd be happy to do that. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. And I hope you have an awesome week and a happy Thanksgiving, and take care, stay healthy. I'll see you next time. Bye.